Thank you, Glorious Liar, for that amazing Kirby run. We have $10 from the guest 109, GG, GL. All right, well, we are going to go to a quick Twitch ad here. We have an anonymous $25 donation. More games, less cancer. We have a $30 anonymous donation. Love watching all the runs. Always fun to see all the weird strats to cut down time. Keep up the good work. And a smiley face. All right, we are going to go to some sponsor ads here. AGDQ is sponsored by the Yeti. The Yeti has been supporting Games Done Quick events since 2012, and they are the official merch sponsor for Games Done Quick. Get official AGDQ tees and more at theyeti.com. That's THEYETEE.com. We have a $50 donation from Lieutenant Colonel Lope. Saved frames, son. Nothing smells like it. I love the smell of saved frames in the morning. Good morning from Denmark. Hyped for another great day of great runs and fighting cancer. Oh, and there's an incentive coming up for Diablo. What's the shopkeeper say? Just so you know, my choice is for the shopkeeper to say, thank you. We have a $10 donation from Bitter Kirk. My uncle is fighting against cancer the second time, and my mother just won against breast cancer. So keep up your nice work. We have a $10 donation from Latte Was Taken. I've been watching AGDQ for 4 years now, and I finally got a chance to donate to one of my favorite events every year. I find it really remarkable how so many gamers can come together and do something they love to support an incredibly wonderful cause. Tonight, we found out the doctors are giving up on treating my uncle as a stage 3 cancer has spread to his brain. I've lost a lot of family members to cancer, and I hope that even my small donation can help a family in need. Keep on saving those frames. Love what you guys are doing for the world. We have an anonymous $200 donation. I love AGDQ. Thank you to all organizing the event and all gamers that participate. We have a $123.45 donation from Aeronth ELGI. We have a $50 anonymous donation, Late Night Hype. We have a $100 donation from Daniel W., donating on behalf of my dad, who was recently diagnosed with advanced pancreatic cancer. Thank you to everyone at GDQ for supporting such an important cause. We have $5 from the Teddy Bear of Death. Low on money and wasn't going to donate again, but the couch during the Kirby dances and general charisma for this Kirby run make me feel very happy, like Kirby should. Thank you. We have an anonymous $10 donation. Shout out to my buddy Eddie and his cat Moon Moon. This Kirby music is straight fire. We have a $100 donation from Tyler Burrito. Kirby rules, to be honest. We have a $10 donation from Fluxium. Love watching AGDQ. Can't wait to see Mass Effect and Diablo. Another $10 if Beard Guy caresses the beard with both hands. We have a $20 donation from Tom Evil 151. Thanks to everyone involved in this awesome event. Greetings from South Africa. We have a $20 donation from Rhino. Love me some AGDQ. And we have an anonymous $5 donation. My family has been heavily affected by cancer, and hopefully this helps anyone who is currently going through the battle. We have some upcoming incentives still in the running. For Diablo, if you want to see the level 1 sorcerer run, that's pretty close to being finished, so go ahead and get those donations in as soon as possible. There's also a pretty close race for the Diablo character name. Beefaroni is in the lead, but Runner's Choice and Chicken Soup are not too far behind. So if you want to see those catch up, like Runner's Choice say, if you want that, get those donations in and let's make this a close race. We have a $5.57 donation from Mr. Onion. Haven't seen that Kirby game played before, and I liked it. Cheers, French Toast and Night Runners. Thank you very much. Let's go Dark Souls 3. We also have the Diablo incentive for What's a Shopkeeper Say. In the lead is What Are You Buying? But my personal favorite is Thank you. So be sure to get those donations in for the one you want to choose. All right, and we are ready to start Gex 3, Deep Cover Gecko with crash6351. Take it away.
All right. I'm Crash,
I'm Katz.
I'm Rico.
I'm White Post.
and this is Gex 3 Deep Cover Gecko on the PS1. In 3, 2, 1, tail time. All right, so this is no wrong warp, so this forbids wrong warping into the final boss, so we will actually have to meet the 30 remote requirements, which is the intended way of beating the game any percent. So every level in this game, the main theme of the game is that Gex is a TV addict, and every level is based off some sort of TV or movie genre parody. And this is a Christmas-themed level, if you can't tell.
So this is an out of bounds that he's gonna do. It requires a more or less precise tail whip, and now he's gonna tail kick, like pretty much out of bounds, and he's gonna reach the zone where he needs to kill these, well, I guess elves escaping.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the final section of the level, actually. We just skipped straight to it with that out of bounds. The elves are maybe RNG. I honestly don't know, but what I do know is that they are very, very easily manipulated by doing the same movements every time. They do have really bad hitboxes, and normally you're actually supposed to be on a snowboard in this section, and I tail up too early there. But we didn't go through the loading zone, so we're not on that snowboard. So that's the 5 elves. The main collectible in this game are remotes, very similar to stars in SM64.
Yeah,
And that's the first remote of 30, like I mentioned earlier. The plot of this game is that, well, the plot of the series in general is that there is this cyborg named Rez who is taking over the media dimension. And in this game in particular, he has kidnapped Agent Extra, who is played by a Playboy model, actually. There are a whole bunch of cutscenes with her, and we skip all of them because speed, obviously. And they're all, honestly, just really awkward, and glad I don't have to sit through them all, or any of them, really. So this next remote, we're going to kill Santa by sending his presents back to him. The presents have really bad hitboxes, and the important thing is to just find a consistent way of hitting the presents. I kind of move to the right. Some people will tail bounce some. Will I get the cutscene skip? No. The cutscene skip doesn't matter. It's just for swag, I guess.
Swag Strats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Momentum. This game loves to drop momentum. Unintended tail bounce. That's the second remote. Up next, I can mention the versions. I'm playing this, the PS1 version. This is also on N64. We separate the versions into different categories. N64 is faster, but there's enough variables that it warrants being separated. And I can safely say the PS1 version is objectively better because the N64 version, while it does have faster loads, and there are some other differences, like a few different levels, the N64 version is burdened by horrible lag, and in some spots can actually crash the game due to how much lag there is, which thankfully does not happen on this version, although it is still a pretty laggy game in general, especially on my console, which isn't very good. But that's a completely different story. So I have to make ice sculptures of Gex himself. Not a whole lot goes on in this remote. This ending section is kind of fun to optimize, though. It's nice when it goes well, feels very satisfying. That's kind of the thing with this game in general, and it especially becomes apparent the further we get in how satisfying it can be to hit everything in the run. I pressed start too early, but I still skipped the cutscene. That's a thing that can happen. That's a very, very precise tail kick that I almost never get, but I still go for it, because why not? And that is totally Scrooged. So every level has 4 remotes. 3 are hidden in the level. 1 you get from collecting 100 fly coins, which we don't get any of those. We usually get 3, sometimes 2 remotes in each level. So up next, this is where things start to get interesting. So this is going to be the introduction of a trick that is exclusive to the Gecko series. It's called TV canceling. It is effectively a way of grabbing remotes in levels without leaving the level. And there's a few different methods of doing this. The first one you'll see here is called a deaf TV cancel, where I will die above the button of the TV and my corpse will fall on the button. I will grab the remote, but I'll have died and respawn in the level. So hopefully this will go well. So I'm gonna take damage here in a bit, because like I mentioned, definitely use. These guys can knock you back if they hit you from head on, so try to avoid that. Even from angles, it's very awkward. Take this route, which is technically slower, but either way, you have to wait on spare at the end. So it's a very nice, consistent method. Got it.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
All right, so this next remote, you're normally supposed to get a Dracula outfit, but that's very slow. The Dracula outfit lets you glide around, but we can just do these fairly precise tail bounces. That one's not hard, but I kind of butchered it there. Can't get them all. This one is pretty tough. Didn't make it, that's okay. And then do this. 3 blood cores, it's kind of a recycling of 2 previous remotes in Gex 2, or Gex Enter the Gecko. I'm gonna get this life. It is technically slower, but it is very useful for TV cancels later on. And that's all I'll be getting in Clueless in Seattle. So I mentioned a Dracula outfit earlier, and there's also one here in Mission Control, and you can do some very interesting things with this. It isn't particularly broken itself, but Mission Control is in some places, and we're gonna use this to break it. So I'll just leave this area. I'll go over here. I'll tail bounce up here. Okay. And I can take advantage of the slope in the wall here and gain height, and I can end up out of bounds, and then that should be enough. If I keep gliding for a little bit, it takes a little bit of time, so be patient.
Yeah, you skip a huge section.
Yeah, and this skips the tutorial section, which normally has a bunch of forced dialogues and cutscenes that take forever. And that's all of Mission Control. We're on to the next hub, Lake Flaccid. So this is where things get really interesting. First, I'd like to remind everyone watching, no premarital Gex is allowed. So this level, I'm gonna go for a 1 cycle here. This is an Egyptian-themed level called Holy Moses. By 1 cycle, I mean I'm gonna try to grab every remote in just 1 visit, and we're gonna do this through the magic of TV canceling. There is a lot to explain in this level, and I have a habit of getting ahead of myself when commentating this run. I'll try my best though. So the first objective here is to kill these 3 mummies. That's a quick shot I got there. Did it before he did his tornado spin animation. And you gotta get the staffs. It's unfortunate. Momentum, please. The way tail kicking works, which is also the fastest way of moving in the game, is when you start moving, you move slowly for about half a second, and then after that half second, you can do tail kicks by holding the crouch button, or as the game calls them, the deadly karate kick. So I have to kill these 3 Anubises, or whatever the plural is. I honestly don't know. English is hard.
Anubai.
Anubai, I guess that would work. You know, like Genesis, Genocide, whatever. That one, though, however, you have to actually kill just to get through the level normally. So no matter what, we'll have to kill him. If you want to get a quick donation in real quick, you can.
All right, we have a $10 donation from Dilwingo and the Posse.
Hey.
Hey.
Crash, my dude, we are so proud of you for getting into AGDQ. Kick some tail in this Gex run. Shout-outs to all the Posse at GDQ. Much love to everyone.
Thank you, Dill.
Thanks, Dale.
Seems
Thanks,
good.
Phil.
The next hot up-and-coming Crash 2 runner.
Yep.
All right, so there's a second mummy here, and I will go for an animation skip like that. Just some not too precise movement. I missed the mummy there. I can hold start to skip cutscenes in this game, by the way, like that. Concentrate.
Pause buffer.
All right, almost died there. Those aren't particularly hard, but they're failable and scary. Okay, so this is where the things get really interesting. They made this camel. He exists for just this one room of the game. Kind of useless, but we can give him some more use, thankfully. You can just kind of take advantage of that slope in the wall there, and we're out of bounds. And the camel can also glide. Funny enough, the camel's not very well programmed. And we're going to use this camel to TV cancel. But first and foremost, a very important thing this does, for whatever reason, is that it raises the def planes throughout the level. This is going to be a huge concern coming up in a bit. After this next out of bounds, I'll have to fight another Anubis. And the Anubis is right on a def plane, and I'm on a bit of raised land, and I have to kill the Anubis from there. If I touch where the Anubis is, I will die. So hopefully things go well. It's not too hard, but failable, like a lot of things in speedrunning. Oh, God. Okay, that can happen. The way grabbing collectibles with the camel works is it's not very well programmed. You're only supposed to collect fly coins, but you can also collect paw coins there, which causes the camel to completely spaz out, and it's very hard to control the camel. And you can just clip out of bounds in a lot of cases. I just kind of tap X here. I don't mash, just keep a steady rhythm here. So take 2 with no paw coin, thankfully. That def is very unfortunate because of how lives are important in this game, because there's so many def abuses, but I can still manage. Thankfully, I have a very, very generous estimate, because this game really is the embodiment of high risk, high reward. There's a lot of stuff in here that just loses so much time if you fail. But if you get it, it feels so satisfying. Okay.
Yeah, the run of Gex 3s, well, and Gex runs in general are really brutal when it comes to getting escapes.
Yeah,
they can be really, really hard escapes that if you fail, you lose minutes. Too.
Yes, the time losses in these games are generally very large, and missing TV cancels basically means your run's over. So last mummy, we can't really do anything about his animation, so we have to wait for him. We have to grab the staff while on the camel, or else the camel will despawn. So I'm going to use this camel to TV cancel. This is the introduction of another method of TV canceling, the tail whip TV cancel. You can tail whip before landing on a button, and it can cancel the animation of you leaving the level. But more importantly, you can tail whip onto animals like this, and you can even chain your tail whips, which is a huge problem actually, because your tail whip animation lasts for 9 frames, and you have to do the second tail whip immediately after that first one, meaning it is frame perfect. So that TV cancel is super easy, pretty much free. But because I got that TV, the game's gonna wanna force me out if I get off the camel. So for this TV cancel, I'm gonna have to throw myself off the camel and get the frame perfect TV cancel. Woo! Yes.
Nice.
Oh, that feels so good. Okay, so not much left in the level, just getting the most mundane remote out of the way. The intended remote for the camel, actually. The objective is just something like ride the camel to the temple. Not very good movement, but that's okay.
Yeah, if you fail the frame perfect TV cancel, you lose a ton of time.
About a minute.
Yeah, so again, high risk, high reward.
That kind of makes up for the def earlier.
Yeah,
That umbrella is kind of a pain. And that is Holy Moses.
Still 1 cycle.
If you want to get in a few donations in, you can.
Sure. We have a $25 donation from Gardeford. Want to donate during or around the Gex run. Played it a bunch as a kid and can't wait to see it destroyed. We have a $150 and 1 cent donation from Florian Jansen. Probably won't be able to catch the run live, but looking forward to the VOD. Keep doing amazing work. We have a $25 donation from Michael C137.
Momentum.
I grew up loving the Gex games. Excited to see this run.
Some sloppy movement here. You can get another donation in real quick.
All right, I have a $50 donation from Re Bang Bang. Been looking forward to Gex 3 since I read the schedule. A special thank you to all the fantastic staff and runners that keep the event going all through the night. Greetings from Canada.
Hello, Canada. So this level is not very well designed. And it's also very broken in a very similar way to Holy Moses. There's also one cycle involving, this time, a donkey. The donkey is actually slower than tail kicking, but it'll respawn throughout the level, so that's nice. I'm going to do some save strats because of that def I had earlier, because game over in this game means run over. So very important I do not lose all my lives. I'm going to go ahead and get some lives now, just to be very safe.
Yeah, it's really weird because in Gex 2, at least the PlayStation version, like if you game over, you just get respawned at the beginning of the the main hub. Your run doesn't die, so
Yeah. So here's an example of how not well designed this level is. I got more lives than I needed, which I want, honestly, because you never know what can happen. Kind of a risky section. It doesn't scare me a whole lot anymore, though. Just minor optimizations. So slope jumping, especially with the camel. I hope you enjoy these noises, by the way. Very relaxing ASMR. So TV cancel coming up. All right, so I'm gonna get some more cards for the next objective, and I'm also gonna take some damage for death abuse.
I'm like in the same boat that Donkey is.
All right, one more card in here. These loading zones are kind of awkward to move around in. I was afraid I wasn't gonna get that card, so I jumped there, but I got it anyway. So now I can walk around again. And there's going to be another TV cancel immediately after. Last card. Quick little corner cut there. Saves barely any time, but why not go for it? Alright, that skeleton there can really be a pain. More safe strats. I'm going to def abuse here. Normally, I would not def abuse, and I just go straight to the last remote, which is actually slower, but it does save a life, so I can use that to TV cancel later on to save more time. These minecart cycles are camera-based, so I can just manipulate them very easily. And I'm going to be... Oh, God. I'm not going to go for that.
That was close, yeah.
Yeah, just me being dumb. This is the world's largest mound of poo, as advertised in the game. It even steams and has corn. And that's the Oregon Trail. Up next is an Army-themed level, the Army channel, called War is Heck. There's some stuff to it, but not a whole lot. If you want to get some more donations, then you can.
All right, we have $75 from the Big Lewandowski. Gex 3 was one of my favorite games when I was growing up. Glad to see it being ran at a GDQ. Keep up the great work, guys. We have a $150 donation from Guitar Guy. Really love how it outgrew since I was watching the first AGDQ. Shout out to all those who donated, who work at AGDQ, and the runners for being part of something bigger.
So this first objective here, I have to destroy these 5 10s, and there's going to be another TV cancel coming up. I didn't get the swag damage abuse, sadly. I can't skip this cutscene. It's the only one in this level you can't skip. I'm going to be completing another objective, because, like I mentioned, TV cancels. It's the name of the game here. Although the name of the game is actually Gex Free Deep Cover Gecko, but whatever. So next objective is to destroy these searchlights. There's no crosshairs or anything to help you aim, so aiming can be kind of a pain, but I actually find this remote a lot of fun to optimize. There are, however, these grenades, which have really, 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 really big blast radiuses and can hit you from very far. Although I do want to damage abuse for this TV cancel coming up, so that's not the worst thing, really. Although I do not want to be knocked down. So this TV cancel has a sound cue for me, so some concentration would be appreciated. This camera angle and the way I'm walking looks very weird, but it's to manipulate an enemy that I'm going to use to TV cancel. I'm saying TV cancel a lot, I know. That's the main thing in these games. So of course I will go in here, grab what looks like a Magnavox Odyssey 2 cartridge, at least to me it does, and then here comes the TV cancel.
nice.
That one's easy because of the audio cue, thankfully. And then I can just go around the corner here for this last remote. Although there's one more remote in this level, so.
No Snake Eater for you.
Those are the cutscenes I mentioned earlier that I skipped. One more remote here. This is not a very exciting remote, admittedly, but it is still short. there's another section in this level where we go to a tank and we have to demolish a town to destroy bug crates for whatever reason. This area is plagued by horrible lag because of these tank shots, so I go for some lag reduction strats, which is kind of slow with that first shot. The tank controls like a tank, as you would expect. And there's 5 of them, as I mentioned earlier, I'm pretty sure. And then the last one will be here. 4th one. The last one is here. I destroyed the building. You don't even need to tail up or really hit the bug crates. They just are destroyed upon touching them in any way, which is amusing, I guess. And that's war as heck. If you want to get some more donations, then you can.
All right, we have $200 from No Touch My Drum Set. Hey, listen, I am new to this, but I am all for the cause. Keep up the amazing work. We have $50 from Anonymous. I nearly missed the event this year because of boring grown-up stuff. Now I have to both watch the stream and compress 5 days worth of speedruns during the weekend. We have a $150 donation from Larry Dog 64. Glad to help out and stop cancer.
All right, so this level, they designed this really long and elaborate section for you to go for each remote, but thankfully we can just do some jumps and tail bounces here and skip all of it. And then kind of a precise tail kick coming up. That's a really dumb optimization that only I go for. Although there's not a whole lot of people who run these games. Hopefully that can change in the future. It was too close to the edge there, so I didn't get my tail kick. That's a thing in these games that can be very annoying. Third time's the charm, as they say.
Shadow Lost is the old design.
All right, got it. And then up next, there's the Wall of Death, as it's called, which I'm going to damage abuse on because there is another TV cancel coming up. So I'll damage abuse here. I go to the side instead of the holes below, which you're supposed to go to, and it saves the cycle. I don't damage abuse there because not only would I not make it there in time, but I also need to take another damage abuse later on to set up manipulation for this parrot, which I will use to push me onto the button as it kills me. The camera angle here is so horrible. These games are kind of notorious for their camera and how bad they are. It's not nearly as bad in this game as it is in Gex 2, but it is still pretty wretched. So there's the parrot coming right about now. And then I can just kind of walk against this corner, and there's the TV cancel. And you saw me walk right past that TV, which is going to be the next remote, so if you want to get some more donations, then you can.
Sure thing. We have a $10 donation from Anonymous. Much love from a family of 2 cancer survivors and 1 currently fighting multiple melanoma. Boyo.
Oh, that's not going to make it. You can keep going.
All right. We have a $5.57 donation from $5.57 donation rather from Man2357, putting my money towards Dark Souls 3. Hopefully it will inspire me to finish it. We have a $100 donation from Pig Dog. Thank you so much for promoting this charity. I would love to see the Awful Games block make the prime time. I'll donate $500 for that next time. Eat the fish.
Okay, I'm just going to do the, well, safer strat, if I can even remember. It's been so long since I've done it. Involves some camera manip. I can't speak. Oh my god, I'm sorry. This is just going horribly right now. This level, it's short, but it's so failable, and things just go horribly wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. You can get some more donations, and there's not much to talk about in this level.
All right, we have a $5 donation from Full Golden. I'm a student, but I would want to participate for the first time. Get hype. We have a $60 donation from Anonymous. Since we won't be seeing it, I'll donate an extra $10 if Crash can describe what happens in the ending cutscene, and he knows what part I'm talking about.
Well, do it.
So Well, actually, first I'll mention there's a save warp coming up, and I don't actually have to fight the boss of Lake Placid. But what goes on in the final cutscene? I mentioned earlier that the damsel in distress is played by a Playboy model, and they really went all out with it. And Gex decides to have a little fun time with her in the ending, if you know what I mean. And to make matters worse, she's played by a real-life actress, so if you thought Sonic was bad with this, you've seen nothing. So I didn't have to fight the boss of Lake Placid, so the door to Slappy Valley is closed. But thankfully, I can just clip into that corner. So next hub world, Slappy Valley. And it's quite the hub, to say the least, especially this next level. So I completely forgot what to do there. There we go. So since I submitted this for the marathon, there has been a very, very huge discovery, a new method of TV canceling called the slide TV cancel. I'm also really happy I got that first try. The idea of the slide TV cancel is that you can do Gex's slide animation when you stop after running. Gex will do kind of a bit of a slide, and you can either jump or crouch into it, or crouch out of it rather. And you can do this TV cancel, and it made some TV cancels easier. It introduced some TV cancels that were previously tasks only, and specifically in this level, it introduced a very painful one cycle that I will be going for. So the slide TV cancel in and of itself is not hard. It definitely does take some practice. But the second one in particular, how do I explain it? It has crash potential if you don't execute it properly, because you can get too far away from the TV, but not, land on the ground and the game will crash. I'll safety save just in case, obviously, but it is a huge time loss nonetheless. So that's the slide TV cancel. So I'm gonna keep going up this beanstalk. The level is called Red Riding in the Hood, and it's obviously a fairy tale themed level. This next section, this glide coming up is kind of difficult. It just involves a pretty precise tail bounce, and I got it. And then this one is thankfully very easy. And then this one you can't glide to, so we have to climb on the wall. And then do this tail bounce up here. I'm gonna get this checkpoint because there's a death abuse after this objective where we're gonna kill not kill the three little pigs, but destroy their houses. You don't even need to kill them, although for whatever reason they can damage you, which I find interesting. And we're gonna do it in reverse because it's faster. So the brick house takes 5 hits. Really want to time your tail ups to not lose any time. Up next is the wood house, takes 4 hits, and then the straw house, which takes 3 hits. If you want to get some more donations, you can.
All right, we have a $25 donation from Anonymous. Loving the destruction of these games. Keep up the great work. We have an anonymous $250 donation. Gex taught me all the awful one-liners a 9-year-old would need to know. We have a $30 donation from Caleria. There we go. I was supposed to have gone home, but then my flight got canceled and I was gifted another 16 hours at this amazing event. Clearly, fate calls to me to donate again, and I really want that sketchbook.
All right, so this is the TV cancel. I would like some concentration, and I'm going to safety save because the game can crash, as I mentioned. It's going to take a while. Okay, at least the game didn't crash.
Nice.
It's a hard TV cancel.
Yeah. You can do the slide TV cancel off the top of the TV, and you can keep your momentum very easily, which makes a TV cancel like that a lot more bearable. But it is harder to pull off, so there's that. I've already completed this objective, so you can go crazy with the donations.
All right, we have a $10 donation from Ghost in the Posse. Hi.
Hi, Ghost.
Un Fantasma Mas, Ghost, and the Posse here. Was waiting all the week to watch this amazing run, and I need to say that we're surprised with Crash's commentary. Thanks, Crash, to inspire me to learn a Gex game, and thanks to the GDQ staff for adding this amazing game to the event. Greetings from Mexico.
Hi,
Pack
Mexico.
Attack, less than 3.
Pack Attack.
Back attack.
Pack attack.
Be sure to watch the Pac-Man World 2 run after. What am I doing?
We have a $25 anonymous donation. I played Gex 3 so much as a kid I made myself sick, so it's very cathartic to watch all those frustrating levels and blind jumps get broken for a good cause. I love all the informative commentary. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Ooh, that's not gonna make it. Oh well.
Oof, that's fine.
That could do it.
Nice.
Yeah, unfortunately, like missing the TV cancel will lose a ton.
Yeah. Thankfully I didn't crash, which would lose even more.
Yeah.
You can't get them all though, sadly. It's marathon runs for you.
Yeah, it'd be a worst case scenario.
Yeah, definitely. I should also mention routes. Obviously, you would do this level, but the next level I'm going to do, you normally wouldn't do in a run because it's slower than another level, but the level I'm talking about that you would normally do is the infamous Mythology Network, which a lot of people remember as being a horrible level. It's not that bad casually, I think, but it's pretty bad in a run because the one cycle is very difficult, and if you don't get it, you lose a ton of time. And it's subject to a specific trick called Rainbow TV Cancel, which used to be the worst thing ever, but with Slide TV Cancel now it's a lot bearable. A lot more bearable, rather. So that's Red Riding in the Hood.
Yeah, in 100%, if you failed the Rainbow TV cancel, you lose 8 minutes.
Yes, if you think this category is punishing, the 100% categories are infinitely worse because the TV cancels are ingrained into collectible routes. So, I have a very important question to ask everyone, and I got that ledge grab, which is actually pretty difficult. But question to everyone watching: who here likes anime? Well,
Basically no one.
if you do, you're in luck because there's an anime-themed level in this game, and it's pretty broken, actually. So it's broken in a way that there's a couple out of bounds you can do. That's unfortunate. The camera can get caught up on the walls, but you can also just not get it in general like I did. You can see it causes the textures to not load properly, and you're going to really see that in the next remote. And there's going to be a death use after this remote. Being a game made by Americans in 1999, their perception of anime basically extends to just mechs and schoolgirls. By the way, the hitboxes on those mechs can just not be there, and you really can't do anything but wait. So this first objective is to destroy these 3 tubes you see here, guarded by mechs and schoolgirls, the deadliest of enemies. Cute, innocent schoolgirls that can really kick your butt, because they just really love to hit you whenever you're least expecting it. And like I mentioned, I want to def abuse. Cutscene skip I'm trying to get. I didn't get it. Oh, that's unfortunate. It doesn't save a whole lot of time, but it's not too hard, so.
There's another one coming up soon. It's harder.
Yes. I usually don't get it, actually, so I wouldn't count on it.
Ah, cool, yeah.
It's because it's so much further back than the first tube, because you have to get closer to the center rim in order to get the cutscene skip. Normally, you can't skip any cutscene in this level, though. That's what I wanted. I did want that damage, actually. I'm not being sarcastic or anything. Normally, you hit that switch to make these beams disappear, but you can just tail kick through them. Unskippable cutscene and death is coming up. And get some more donations in.
Well, actually, we have some incentives coming up I'd like to highlight. The What's the Shopkeeper Say one is coming pretty close. The What Are You Buying one is in the lead, but thank you. It's coming up pretty close, so make sure to get those donations in for your choices.
All right, so you saw earlier with that out of bounds how it causes the textures to not load properly. You're going to really see the effects of that in this remote if I can get the out of bounds. Right, and then it's not over yet. Got to get this ledge grab, or not even get the ledge grab, although I got double ledge grabs, sadly. And welcome to the void. This effect's going to persist throughout the entire remote, essentially. So I hope you enjoy seeing Gex in a bunch of nothing. The objective here is to destroy the 5 rogue mechs. I don't know why these mechs are rogue and the others aren't, but I won't question Crystal Dynamics. Same developers of A Tomb Raider. Not a whole lot else to talk about in this remote, so it's, music likes to glitch out in this cutscene for whatever reason. You can read some more donations.
All right, we have a $50 donation from Florp the Fox. Loved Gex when I was a wee lad. Really happy to see it destroyed. Let's see some Dark Souls 3. And yeah, just a heads up that Dark Souls 3 initiative is coming up. It's 45,911 out of 75,000 to meet that, so be sure to get your donations in.
This glide isn't very hard, but it's made difficult by the fact that you can't really see where you're going. And that's the objective. Just need to go get the remote.
We have a $197.09 donation from Anonymous, finishing off the level 1 sorcerer incentive, and that has been met for the level 1 sorcerer's run for Diablo.
I mean, it's not hard to pull off. It just looks cool, but thanks anyway. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, so sadly there is no cool out of bounds for this remote because it goes up instead of down, but there is something at the end. But for the meantime, there's not a whole lot going on. I normally would death abuse at the end, but because of that extra death I had to take because of failing to TV cancel earlier, I'm not going to do it because, as I mentioned earlier, game over means run over, and I'm at 0 lives, so need to be careful.
We have a $5.55 donation from Demosthenes. I've never seen Gex 3 before, and I'm loving this quick play to see what I missed. Thanks for being there and helping a great cause.
Jesus, the frame lag.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, the lag is really horrible in these games, and it's obviously worse in some places than others because there's a lot going on the screen here. All these explosions and flames. So I mentioned earlier that there's a little bit at the end, and it's a clip that's actually fairly precise. And it does take a decent amount of time, so I will go for it.
Yeah, you'll have to go like through her window.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, very precise, but there is a bit of a setup to do. That was too far to the left. Again, too far to the left. That was a lot closer though. Normally you're supposed to hit a switch, looks like that, to get rid of that force field. Too far to the right this time.
And it's very precise.
You got this, man.
There we go.
Nice.
You saw me fidgeting around with the camera there to help with the clip. Camera control is very important in these runs with aiming your tail kicks, and really is in general just a helpful way of getting around, which is kind of a deal breaker for some people, I'd imagine, because of how horrible the camera is in these games.
Yeah, you would death abuse back there.
Yeah, but I don't have the lives,
Yeah, you won't have the lives.
so I have to sit through this long cutscene of riding down the elevator and deal with more lag. But that is When Sushi Goes Bad is the name of the level.
Sushi goes.
And like the last hub, I don't have to fight the boss here either. I can just skip into the last hub, Funky Town.
That was the best anime I've ever seen.
I gotta back that up. I should mention that save warping actually restores your lives if you're below 4. You start with 4, so it'll take me back to 4.
It's very convenient. Very convenient for TV cancel.
I was about to load my practice file for whatever reason. Oof. That wouldn't have been a big deal, but would be dumb on my part still. So There are faster ways of getting this out of balance, but they're incredibly difficult. There are 2 ways of clipping, one into a corner and one using the camera that's above the Funky Town door, but instead I'll go for the same thing I did earlier with the Rec Room OOB, where I'll be using the Dracula outfit, just this time getting into Funky Town. Easy every time. It really isn't hard. First try. So there's only 2 levels in this hub. I only did 2 levels in the last, but there's actually 3, as I mentioned earlier. There's the Mythology Network. And this then game is very difficult, as you can imagine. 2 1 cycles, and then a final boss that is easy to lose time on.
Yeah, Gex games are notorious for being super hard at the end. All 3.
Yep. So this is the Gangster TV My Free Goons, and get ready for the lag here, by the way. It's incredible. And you also take damage all the time throughout this run, throughout this level, actually. Whether it be these guys, you throw these crates, or guys shooting you with their Tommy guns, they just gun you down constantly. Got that first try.
Nice.
Normally you're supposed to zoom in, or that's what you're expected to do, but you just do that. And I want to lure this guy over here to jump over the wall.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This also has the best enemy animation ever.
Yeah, you gotta love those windmills.
Yeah.
Sadly, I killed the gangster before I could use him to jump over the wall. Not the worst thing ever, no. So first objective I'm going to do is to burn 5 bundles of funny money, which is counterfeit money, as I've been told. So you can just shoot through this fence here. You gotta make sure the money burns. You can hear it. That was it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Oh no.
Oh no, it didn't. Yeah, what happens with this game sometimes is that if you go like too far away from the things, it tends to not like happen.
Yeah, you have to actually watch things die or disappear, or else it just doesn't happen. It's kind of the general rule of this game. If it doesn't happen on screen, it just doesn't exist. And I'm taking this fly to the next section, which is an experience, to say the least, because everything about it is just really difficult. So I'm going to swallow the fly now. Get ready for more windmills.
Yep, best animation ever.
Hardcore thugs and their attack, their windmills. Just
bullet
windmill
time.
you to death. All right,
The
hit me. Again. Should have taken another hit. This is going to be awkward. All right, that's good.
Nice.
nice.
Alright, so I'm going to complete 2 objectives at once for the next TV cancel. Camera, please. Yeah, that's what I mentioned earlier by the camera being horrible.
You just got a frozen bed there.
Yeah, it loves to get caught up on objects and surfaces. There we go. So next objective is to destroy 5 root beer barrels. You can get some more donations in now.
All right, we have a $10 donation from ACL Live. Hey, Crash, keep going, man. You are doing great. Can we get a round of applause for this great run? And let's smash the AGDQ 2017 2.2 million tally donation. Donation goes to Runner's Choice.
Thank you. I'm going to tail bounce here so I don't die. And then another TV cancel coming up. This one's also very easy. I should have taken a hit earlier, but it's not the worst thing ever. So just gonna zoom in. You have to free your friend, cuz. Like I mentioned earlier, you have to actually watch the lock explode, or else it doesn't happen. And then to end the level, a very precise tail bounce. Very difficult, actually. And that was almost it.
Ah,
That is it,
Yeah,
actually.
nice.
Second try is good.
second try.
And then the last root beer barrel. You can get some more donations in. That's my free goons.
All right, we have a $10 donation from Anonymous. In response to Crash's question about whether or not we viewers like anime, Nani? Nani?
That's terrible, actually.
By the way, actually, something we haven't really talked about is voices in this game.
Yeah, actually, I should have mentioned that. Normally, Gex just never shuts up and is constantly spouting horrible puns and one-liners. I don't actually think they're as bad as a lot of people make them out to be, but it does lose a lot of time, several minutes in fact, but thankfully, in this game at least, you can turn the voices off, and it'll skip Gex talking when going through TVs, and it saves, like I mentioned, several minutes, and I'm doing a pretty poor job on this tail bounce. It's not the worst, but it can be troublesome at times.
You got to.
So, last main level, Superhero Show, or Super Zeros rather. There's also a one cycle here, very, very difficult.
Yeah, it's very hard.
So we gotta kill these 3 kitties. Poor kitties, Bubbles would be ashamed of us. Again, you have to watch things die in this game, so we're gonna snipe this kitty. Oops. Ride this platform up here. And the last cat. Now, I passed right by the remote TV router that activates. I'm not going to get until the very end of the route, though. This route will look very weird, but it'll all make sense in the end, hopefully. And get some more donations in.
All right, we have a $150 donation from I Am Losing the Game. Which, yeah. Putting this towards Dark Souls because the remaster news got me hyped. We have a $5 donation from Johnny14. Shoutouts to my roommate Alec for staying up late and watching AGDQ with me. So happy to see Crash destroy Gex 3. Keep up the work, love AGDQ, and all the people that make it run. We'll donate more if Crash can say their favorite Gex quote.
Is that a lightsaber, or are you just happy to see me?
Oh my god.
Okay, so that
There
death
you go.
abuse there was to open this chicken outfit door, which will let me glide around. Normally you're supposed to kill these guys, there's 3 of them, but you can just death abuse, so. 5 crooks, first one's here. They like to throw dynamite at you, which can knock you down. And then the next objective, I'm gonna kill the Mad Bomber, very similar to the Santa remote early on. The TNT bombs are very hard to work with at times.
Jeez, the low poly in this game is amazing.
That almost didn't make it. Oh, that's what I meant. Shouldn't get so close to the ledge. Alright. And then we're gonna take care of the rest of the crooks. Land there to get around that obstacle there. Normally you're supposed to get a, I guess, strongman outfit to destroy him. And then one more crook after this, and then I'll go for the TV cancels at the very end. Alright. And then one more TV cancel pretty much immediately after.
This one can be.
Yeah, it's another slide TV cancel from the top.
This one could be a pain, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks really cool when done properly. And there's also crash potential again, so I will safety save yet again.
It's a marathon, why not?
Obviously. That was close. That was even closer. That was not a slide at all. That's okay. Thankfully, the Mad Bomber objective isn't too long. What would be worse is if I were to crash and I'd have to do the 5 crooks objective again, which takes a long time. So I've already done this objective. Go ham with the donations.
All right, we have a $15 donations from Devin J. Great run so far, Crash. Love me some PS1. Donate again to Grandma Jabloniki, who is recently facing cancer. $5 extra if her name gets pronounced correctly. Hopefully I did. Go Grams, go AGDQ. We have a $20 donation that's anonymous. More games, more fun money goes to the Dark Souls
What am I
Run
doing?
3 runs greetings from Australia.
Nice muscle memory there. Getting the cats when I don't need them.
We have a $30 donation from Anonymous. Crash, you've blown my mind. Enough that I feel obligated to donate for your performance. Salutations from a late-night Seattleite.
Thank you.
We have a $10 donation from Alex Shine. Third year watching, first time donating. Loved Gex when I was a kid, and it's great to see it get destroyed for a good cause. We have a $10 donation from Cousin Kevin13. So excited to finally see a Pac-Man World 2 run at AGDQ. I play this game every Halloween. You'll see why by the end.
It's very spooky, to say the least.
Yep. We have a $5 donation from BRDF. Thanks to all the staff and the runners for an awesome event for a great cause.
That's what I mentioned with these bombs.
Yeah.
It's
There's
it's
not a-
even worse with this building because it likes to get in the way. And there's no reason to hit it immediately. So just do that. And then play it really, 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 really safe here so I don't die. And that is 30 remotes. Now we can fight Rez.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning. Crash's PV is 46,
Yeah.
something. So, yeah, that's what we have mentioned before with the game. Just having a lot of hard tricks.
You gotta provide a very generous estimate every time because always prepare for the worst, I say. So there is a level accompanying Res Channel Z, or Res Breaker, if you will. You get a jetpack and you get to fly around in space, so you can die at pretty much any point. It can be kind of troublesome, but it's not the hardest level in the run. Okay, that was sloppy, but whatever. Normally you're expected to ride those elevators, but you can just go to the side on these little climbable walls. You can read some more donations.
All right, we have a $10 donation from Anonymous. Super high from Cali. Loving this run. Keep up the donations.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I'd just like to remind everyone that the Link to the Past randomizer incentive for swordless mode is still coming up. It's at $31,522 out of $50,000 to meet that. Let's go ahead and get those donations in for that because that sounds amazing.
Alright, Rez, the final boss. Gex 2 is kind of notorious for having a heavily RNG influenced final boss, but thankfully that's not the case here. Rez does the same thing every time. There's even strats we can do to make it a bit faster. And it is fairly difficult. The idea is to jump, and I was way too late. Could have saved it there. It's actually technically faster to let him do this animation first because it's only 3 hits as opposed to 5, but I usually try to get the quick hits out of the way as soon as possible. You can read some more donations. Oh well. That was kind of dumb of me. At least get one skip, please.
It's gonna be good.
Okay. Sadly, the timer's gonna run out, so I can't go for one more. Timing ends not on the final hit, but after the final hit, a remote will appear. What am I doing? A remote will appear above my head, and then a text box or screen I'll have to cancel out, and time will be when I cancel that out. So get ready on time. Oh, okay, that did work. Lag reduction. time.
Oh my god.
So this is the ending, as mentioned earlier. This is Agent Extra. I can't remember her real name, but Gex is a very busy grown-up. In fact, so busy that he can't even talk to his assistant butler, Alfred.
The signal seems to be breaking up. Gex, I'll call you later. As I was saying, Extra, my love.
It's tail time.
Alright.
Come here, you silly gecko. Oh, Gex.
But the real ending, in my opinion, and probably a lot of people's, is the song that plays in the credits, which is a wonderful rendition of the Anime Channel theme. So I would like to give a few shout-outs real quick. Shout-outs to my couch for being wonderful people and treating me with a lot of kindness. Shout-outs to the Gex community for being a bunch of wonderful people who have done a lot, especially in the last year, to help this game especially. It's come a long way even since I submitted it, and I'm really happy for that. Shout-outs to the posse. Thank you for being wonderful people. It's nice to have the support of a lot of people. Thanks, guys. And that's Gex Free.